Hey everyone, in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing a product that's going to help people with disabilities evacuate in case of emergency. Stay tuned. So as a Paralympic athlete and USA wheelchair rugby player, I travel a ton, both domestically and internationally. And up until I got this product, I hadn't really thought about the best way for people with physical disabilities to evacuate and get to safety in case of emergency. And after a little bit more research, I found out that most modes of transportation don't actually have a really good plan on what to do with people with disabilities in an emergency situation. The FAA has a 90-second evacuation rule. What that means is that every single airplane, from a really small puddle jumper all the way up to the biggest A380, has to be able to evacuate in 90 seconds or less all of their passengers in case of an emergency. If they don't meet that 90-second standard, they're not allowed to fly in the US. So, I'm not an expert in this, but it got me thinking, I know it takes me more than 90 seconds just to transfer from an airline seat to my everyday chair, and that's in a perfect situation. So what happens if there's, more than one wheelchair user on the plane, or what happens if my whole team's on the plane? The current method for getting someone with physical disabilities off of the plane in case of an emergency is called the grab and go method. Pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. The flight attendants and crew are supposed to come up to the person who is the physical disability, grab them, and get them off the plane as safely and efficiently as possible. That sucks. I'm having this image in my head where I'm getting drug off this plane through glass and debris and smoke and fire and all these things, and it's just not working out. That's where the ADAPTS system comes into play. ADAPTS stands for a Disabled Passenger Transfer Sling. In the event of an emergency, the ADAPTS sling works basically like a collapsible stretcher. It allows crew and other able-bodied passengers to help those with disabilities get off the plane as quickly and safely as possible. So I really wanted to put this sling to the test, but it was surprisingly hard to find an airplane. Apparently, there are rules and regulations around that. Who would have thought, right? But I did the next best thing, which is recruiting a bunch of friends to come over to my house and carry me around in it. So let's see how it works. Alright, so here we are, testing out the ADAPTS travel sling. My lifting crew has been assembled, and we're going to see what it's like to carry me around with it. So here we go. The most effective one we found was carrying, you had one lifter on kind of the front right corner and one lifter on the back left corner, and they were able to really pretty efficiently and effectively carry you down the aisle at that point. Alright, so joining us is David. He was one of the lifting crew on the ADAPTS transfer sling. So, I want to know what you think the biggest advantage of being able to use the sling versus just having to carry me off an airplane would be.
Yeah, I think the easiest part about using the sling is getting you out of the chair. You don't have to bend over as much. It's a lot easier to lift from the backside. I think it's a lot more doable in a high risk situation.
The ADAPTS sling and products like it are super important, right? I mean, these are products that are potentially going to help save our lives. It's crazy to me that airlines haven't really thought through what they're going to do if the plane crashes with people with disability, right? The grab and go method, more like the grab and pray you can get me off the plane before it bursts into flames, right? That's nuts. So the ADAPTS team has created a change.org petition to lobby Congress to help protect passengers with disabilities. I really urge you guys to sign that, share it with your friends, have them sign it. I'll post the details in the description below, and they've also launched a Kickstarter to help get the product off the ground. So, like I said, I urge you to sign the petition, share the petition. If you feel inclined to donate to the Kickstarter, that's awesome. I'll put all the details in the description below. And that's the video for this week, guys. As always, like, share, and subscribe.